We're back over here at the extension job, and it looks like things have changed a bit. I brought my trestles to site, and along with Terry we set them up. I laid 8 courses of bricks on the outside and even laid a couple of blocks on the inside too. We've got a scaffold up now, boys and girls. We've got the platform now all the way around, so what's next? So I'm gonna need some lintels, so I've come to Silverton's to get them. So there they are in the back of the car. Let's get them onto the job. So here we go then. There's my lintel for this one, for this gap. Big 1500 there, 1200 for this 900 opening, 900 for this 600 opening, and a 1500 here for this 1200 opening. The one was being delivered on Friday, the big bad boy, the 3.6. That's for obviously the garage door here. So the big one's going on here, the 9-inch wide, big G. So I've got some feb in the mixer now. Let's knock up a gauge and I can go up here and get all of these engineering bricks up. We get these lintels bedded on. Right, I'm going to set up a bearing here for this lintel. So we go on with the muck. Big dollop on there, brick on. Take that off. Try not to drop it, tricky. If you can. Because I've got to clear it up. I've got no one else to do it. Let's get the second one on here. Alright, that's the 2 laid. Let's get the level now. We want it level with this brick here. So just needs tapping down just a little bit. Not much. There it is. Make sure it's level. Just needs a little tap that end. There. That's nice. Now we'll take it up off of this reveal. Make sure she's upright. She's upright there. I just want to check it off of this face as well, which is a bit awkward for the camera, but there we go. Slide it along. Yeah, we're good. That's nice there. Good. So now we've got that bearing on, that bearing on. I'm just going to put a bit of muck in these frogs, fill them up. I don't like to go too deep. I'll just put a little smear over here because we've got to get a brick over it and a tray in there. So it's just something like that, just full. Always like to fill them up. And these, get the holes full, makes it stronger. And then we'll just pop a little bit over the top of that as well. And I'm going to do the same over here. A bit in here, look. There. Just a little smear over that. Lovely. Then we get the lintel. Pop him on. Somewhere about there, I think. It's looking good. We'll look down there. We're just back from the front, both of them. Yeah. Nice. We can get the brick through the back. We can get the block through the back. Both ends. Perfect. If anything, I always like to just push them slightly back, if anything, because we've got a tray to tuck in here. Just gives you a little bit more room. Then we can put our level on the top here. Now I like to put my level on this edge because this is a stronger edge, this is a little bit more flimsy. We can get on there now, look. And that is pretty level. I just want to tap it down both sides now, get it as low as I can. And keep it level. That's pretty good there. Nice. So there we go, that's how we get a lintel bedded on in this situation. Beautiful. So that's all the lintels on over there, other than the doorway one of course there. But what I'm going to work on now is getting these 2 piers at the front here right up to the solid height, so that when the big lintel does turn up it's all ready to go and we haven't got to mess around and it's all gone off and solid. Something solid for it to sit on, you know what I'm saying? So I've got 5 courses to pop on here. And this side we've just got to get it up to this level, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bricks on here as well. Then that'll be that all prepped up, so let's crack on with that. And there we go, there's that one up to height there. And that's up to height there. Lovely jubbly. So just a pair of lintels to go on here now. And that'll be all the lintels on the job done. Oh, other than, of course, the big boy up the front. So now I removed the tile so I can find out the exact level for the plate. There's the plate. So let's get this level in here. Sitting on top of that. 375 we need to make. 375 from there. So it has worked out, it's going to be one block and then the plate on top of the lintels, so everything else has got to be built up to that with 2 courses down there. So it's 375 from that block work, 225 from the top of the lintel. Nice and simple. Then the plate goes on top of that and it'll marry up exactly the same as the house. Then the chippy knows exactly where he is because he's going to tie in to that level. Lovely old job. So I'm going to cut myself 23 140 millimeter Celcon blocks. We've got a big stack of them over here. 140 mil is going to be what I need with a 10 mil joint to make up that 150. I'll get it all to that same level and then I can run a course of blocks all the way over the top. Then the plate and we're going to be mwah! Now there will be trays going over this these lintels here. I've got the tray down here. I'm not going to put it on yet until the trusses are up, but that's the height I'm going to take it to for now here. Trusses will then come up and then I can start with, like, once I've got the truss up, I can then look at it and see what my rake's going to be for my roof. Once we get between 450 and 675 above the truss, I'll run a tray right the way through and then we'll stop any insulation going up into the loft space. So we'll fill it up to that height and then obviously the loft insulation will normally be somewhere between 300 and 450 high in the loft, and that'll secure the whole insulation and lock it in all tight and lovely jubbly warm and all that sort of jazz. So the next little job is set the trestles up here. Right, now we're up on these little trestles here I've set up, and we're just going to get these few blocks along here, get this stuff all the way up to the same height as there, and again on the other side, and this can pick up the plate which runs in to there somewhere. There's that one up to plate height. Obviously I'm going to have to add a few bits to this once all of this plastic and everything's been taken down, because this wall will run right the way into there, but I'm not going to break into the roof yet because the chippy's not here, he can't put anything on there, so that's all got to be stripped off first before we can carry on there. So I'm going to let the chippy do that. He knows what he's doing in regards to what needs to be taken off and stuff. I don't want to start chopping up bits of his roof. Might not need to be cut out, if you know what I mean. So there we have it. All of this is now ready for the plate to go on. Literally just waiting for this big heavy lintel to come across here, and that's the only place where we need to put plate. I've got Bruce trained. Sit. Ready. Go on in. Yeah, boy. He's a good boy. There's Bruce. And there, boys and girls, is the lintel that we've got to put up there. We've got a bit of rain in the air. Ugh. So there we go, loads of blocks, loads of bricks up here now. Just going to put another stack. We've got this stack just to top up here, and I'm going to put another stack here as well, because this sort of like bit here raises up to a flat bit of roof. It's going to come in here to a valley. It raises up, I think, I don't know, it might even be 14 courses to the valley, so it won't hurt to put another big stack here. That'll keep us nicely topped up when we're going up even higher. Right, me old man Talbot. Oh yeah, me old mate Talbot, me old man Talbot. Yeah, old man. Old man, old mate. Both reply. We've got it all loaded. So yeah, lovely old job. So we just need the trusses now going up there. Now it's time to start the gables. The chippy hasn't been in yet, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do 2 big racks for these gables off my profile so I know they're upright, and then when the chippy comes I'll be able to do the last few cuts at the end. So if I do a big rack here, that's not going to affect the chippy, and then when the truss comes in I can lay the last block and say the last couple of bricks from the cut into the edge of the truss, so I can form this smooth line all the way up here along this new gable, what we're going to be doing. So I'm just going to do a big rack here and a big rack there while we wait for the chippy to turn up, and then once he gets his trusses up, we haven't even got the trusses here yet, so I'm going to get on with this, and then that'll be me absolutely as far as I can possibly get until the chippy comes. I bought another pack of insulation there today so I can finish off filling up this last little bit of here of insulation, which I ran out of it last time, so we've got another pack. We can get that all fully insulated through there now as well. So I've clamped my profile onto that block there. I'll put my level on there. We should be bang on upright. Yeah, we're upright. Look, so that means that profile's bang on. If I put my line around that now and pull to the other end, that should be bang on as well. Let's just check this side as well, make sure this is upright. This is also a good thing to know if your block work's good. If you ever leave your stuff for any other bricklayer, you want to make sure it's upright. And there we go, look, we're bang on upright up there off of my block work what I've set. So any of you site brickies out there who do stuff and then another bricky wants to come on it, they'll slag you off if your work's not right when they put their profile up, you know. This corner's out, you always want to leave it bang on upright for the next guy, you know. So now these profiles were set up correctly, that allowed me to start laying these blocks, installing the wall ties as I go, and the tray what was needed to seal this cavity off. Little biplane going by. Biplane! So I've got a big chunk of this block work up now here, with racks right the way up to there. I don't want to go any higher because we are getting a couple of like gusts and breeze in the air, so I'm going to get this bit backed up. Normally I would have took this one on as well and done the block work, but I really don't want to lose this. It's a long way down there and I don't want to be carrying it back up again, you know. So let's get this backed up, then we'll all be safe and sound. Right, so we've established this tray in here now. We've got the weep holes in and we're over the top of the lintel. None of these fake weep vents that you see all around the places. We've got our weep vents in, lovely. Now we can go over the top of that. I've got one bat of insulation to go in underneath here, but I'm going to push that in afterwards because with all this tray in the way and everything, it's just going to push everything out. So I'll slide it in once I've got a few more courses in. So here we go then. There's that tray that's going to close it off. Full fill to there, to the ties. That comes down the wall, hits like that, and on we go. We'll go right the way through like that. Lovely old job. Tray's in. What do you reckon, Bruce? How do you reckon it's going? Do we get your seal of approval? Wag your tail if you like it. We're getting high, look. Yeah. Lovely. A few more courses on there. Now we'll be up to the top of that block work. Beautiful. Hey, mate. Yeah? Sir Bruce. Well everyone, I really wanted to show you me getting this job done, but unfortunately because of the weather this ain't happening today. So I've just had a little tidy up in Tricky Bricky's garage. Another load to the tip. Big load, yeah. That and old Hoover, old cabinet, old barbecue. So it's time to get rid of this lot. And I'll see you guys for a fresh start in the next one. Ta-da!